And so he was born at 27 weeks, just over a pound and a half. We knew that he was going to be born premature. He was in the hospital for nearly a year between different hospitals, and he had bronchopulmonary dysplasia, right? So he has chronic lung disease.
When I first met Malcolm, he was 13 months old. He was on oxygen. He had a hole in his windpipe to help him breathe, and he had never had anything to eat or drink by mouth. Instead, he was entirely fed through a tube in his stomach.
I remember one of our first sessions, he was really young, like, probably around a year old. And it was like just the act of putting a little applesauce like near his mouth was enough to give him pause. Like, what is this? What do I do with it?
The thing of it is when you miss the typical window of starting to eat right after you're born, things just get way off track.
And so now he's really confident at the table and he's willing to try new foods. And he has foods that he regularly eats by mouth.
Over the past 5 years, he has had lots of peaks and valleys in his road to learning how to eat safely. But he is our can-do kid.
So the world might see him from on paper as a kid who has gone through so much and we should feel so sorry for him and we should give him all the help that he needs. But my job is to help him be as independent as he can. And he's really taken that on of doing whatever he can and letting nothing hold him back. So he's really made a lot of progress just in his ability to track items through the air and catch them and throw and go over different environments, to do an obstacle course or things like that.
Since I started working with him, I can say the biggest areas I've seen improvements are on his jumping. We work on making really big, broad jumps and seeing how far we can go and how high we can jump, and facing the fears to jump off of higher surfaces down to the ground. And he has really, every single week, we just build that height up or build that distance up, and he's really overcome that.
He's super hardworking, just a silly kid, and just, I guess, loves being a kid is the best way to describe him. He's always being really curious and playing with things and asking questions, and he's so smart and aware of his own abilities, but those abilities have never stopped him before, and they don't stop him now. Like, he can do so much more than what you would expect him to do on paper.
If you take a look back at all of his medical complications and the amount of hospitalization he's had, you would expect him to be very different, but nope, he just takes it in stride and it doesn't slow him down one bit.
He's gonna go out in life and in whatever he does and just be a rock star at it.